Tolkien Tournament. This is Middle-earth Madness.
Death is upon us.
All right. Welcome back to the Chamber of Death, everyone. We are coming at you live again for the fourth and final night of the first round battles in the Ultimate Tolkien Tournament.
Hey!
Chucky, how we doing out here?
I'm doing pretty good. You know what? Bit of a long day.
I'm with you.
And yeah, ready to finish off a long week-ish. Pretty strong here.
Man, I'm still in my freaking work clothes over here. I didn't even get a chance to change, but that's all good, man. We're talking Tolkien now, so all is well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we out here. I'm very excited about. We have some interesting matchups tonight. A lot of maybe lesser-known characters, but still some really interesting fights.
Yeah, for sure.
Like some more first-age characters, it kind of seems like, and or lesser-known third age, such as Bolg, perhaps.
Yeah.
So
I was just giving folks a little rundown on yesterday. We're focused on over here on the right side of the bracket, everyone, because just the way the scheduling worked out, the whole left side of the bracket is already final. So obviously, anytime you want, you can check out the full bracket at MiddleEarthMadness.com. But see, everything over here in the Beleriand upper left region, scrolling down to the Mordor region, lower right here, lower left. This was all decided in the first two nights of battle. So we're complete over here.
If you haven't seen any of those live, or
you're gonna need to,
or afterward, they're all everywhere. Primarily the YouTube, I would say, is probably
YouTube and websites the best bet.
Yeah, best place to just go, because we cut the battles individually. For anybody that maybe doesn't know, obviously we have our full live streams posted afterward. So you can watch, and those are worth watching fully if you're like a very engaged Tolkien nerd like ourselves, because we get into a lot of like between battles, we get into a lot of lore and things like that. So check out the full videos. Obviously, if you're into the lore and all the details. If you want the quick fix, we have all those videos as well. They average maybe 3 minutes. So
exactly. Yep, well said. I'll just give everyone a quick, and I promise when I say quick, I mean quick this time, because sometimes I don't, recap of what you might have missed here. So, Elladan beats Elendil, advances to play, or to fight, Eärnwë, who destroyed Pippin.
Eärnwë.
It's a lesson in umlauts. Double umlauts. So, chalk right here, Gil-galad against the Witch King. But here's where we started running.
That Gimli Witch King fight was really good. That's one that's like we're talking about those short clips. Again, I believe that was one that unfortunately you were solo on. We were behind, but I think anyways. I might be misremembering that. No. That was our first night. I was there for the Witch King fight.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
right. Anyhow, never mind. But the Witch King Gil-galad is going to be very, very good. That's intriguing as a 4-5, right?
That's going to be this will be next week, guys. So tune in. Yeah, that's a can't miss one, 4-5. That's the one good thing about chalk is you feel more confident that it's going to just be a titanic clash. Nothing's guaranteed, of course. I mean, but this is where we started running into the upsets. Fingolfin did just fine, but Boromir waxed Eärendil. Yeah. Legolas waxed Baron, 2 upsets there, and then the first shocker of the tournament, Gandalf goes down to Ugluk. That was close, but Ugluk found a way.
Big shocker there,
10-15 second round clash.
I just keep thinking about how he won because his logo is so cute.
That must be it.
Yeah, it's kind of like in sports sometimes when you're rooting for that team with the badass logo, you know, like in March Madness. Who's that team that has the and Paige would hate this, but there's a team that has like a red spider. It looks pretty cool on the bracket. Yeah, Richmond.
Yeah,
Richmond, where I have no idea what school that is.
Just University of Richmond up the coast from us in Virginia. Yeah.
Okay.
They make the tournament with some frequency.
Yeah, lately it kind of seems like I've been seeing that more, and I'm like, man, they have a fun logo.
Yeah.
Not the school for arachnophobes. But anyhow.
There you go. You heard it here first, guys. When you're filling out a bracket, just go for the cool logos.
Yeah, honestly.
When in
Especially
doubt.
with first-age characters you might not know much about.
Yep, that's true, too, and it's fair.
Of course, I did that with Gothmog, and look at me now. Sorry. Skipping ahead.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, so mostly chalk here. Look, I don't really count 9-8s as upsets. Those are coin toss games. Nonetheless, Guajir handled business against Scatha. Sauron handled Sam. Elrond did not allow Thorin to pull the 5-12. In fact, soundly defeated Thorin, Oakenshield. But then, look at this. Faramir, playing from range, using that bow, slays Smaug. That's a big upset right there, too, because dragons are nasty, you know, both in the lore and here as well. So, yeah, Faramir against Elrond could be interesting. And then we go down here to the bottom, and pretty chalky down here with Ancalagon against Galadriel. And then another upset. The first 3 11s all defeated their 6 seed upset, including Dane over Treebeard here. So, good stuff. And then last night, we go over to this side of the bracket. And, again, pretty chalky up top. And then down here, another 11-6 upset as I mentioned. Beorn takes out Karkaroth.
Yeah, an upset, but one that I kind of expect. Not just me, but like,
yeah,
that was a pretty popular pick. I remember from our first bracket breakdown show. Beorn over Karkaroth, the Dread Beast.
True, I remember the graph.
Deadlights in his mouth.
Yes. Yep, and I remember us talking about how the graph looked, and so this is one of those battles where they're very similar type beasts, you know, clash of 2 beasts with similar strengths, and Karkaroth was just a little bit ahead on almost every one of them, but when I say a little bit, like a couple of points, you know.
He was 1 strike away from, like, that was a very, very good fight. So
really close, but yeah, Beorn found a way, turned into a man for a second. I don't know, confused them, turned back into a bear, and then
that'd be funny. Yeah,
yeah, and then just real quick, enough said. Look at this, 16-1 upset. Mary, you're not seeing this wrong. Mary pulls the upset against Gothmog.
Lies.
Hey, Josh, how you doing, man?
Hey, bud.
Doing great. Hey. So Helm Hammerhand can't handle Galadriel, but freaking a 16-1?
Yeah, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, they are not quite literally, but almost literally dice rolls. That's what algorithms are, really. It's just computerized dice rolls. And, you know, Mary got like sextuple or septuple snake eyes is basically what happened in that fight.
It's funny. Here's what's funny is we dug a little bit deeper on that one.
That's true too. Yeah,
it was period. it was so obscure. We wanted to make sure that like nothing was broken, right? And let me tell you, we did it like 1,000 times, and it was like 920 of them. Gothmog won.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we watched the one.
Yeah, it's like 6-7% of those that Mary's actually winning.
Yeah,
and
it was.
You guys saw, but look, sorry, bud. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying we're doing this live, so it's not like there's any way we could doctor that. It was just
not at all.
Weird thing that happened. Yeah,
a strike of lightning.
Wasn't Gothmog like everyone's favorite?
Mine,
Two?
yeah, I
Like-
picked him to win the entire thing.
I had him in the
In
finals.
in the intro, like, obviously I'm not as attuned to all of the Tolkien characters and all that stuff. The way you explained Gothmog, though, is he was the cream of the crop bad guy, and freaking Mary comes through, hunks a rock at his forehead, and takes him down like freaking, Goliath or something like that.
You have to think about it too, though. Like, I think it's understated the fact that he helped in killing the Witch King.
Exactly.
In the movie, it's pretty much skipped over. In the book, it's a little bit more of a big deal, and they're both in the Houses of Healing because of it. When I say both, I mean Eowyn and Mary.
Yep.
That's huge. And obviously, you have to take into account his Bear White Blade, which is, for specific reasons, very effective against the Wraiths.
Mm-hmm.
But still, though, like, Squire of Rohan, indeed, right?
It's a single elimination tournament, and like the NFL playoffs, like March Madness, like any single elimination tournament, any given Sunday is what they say, right?
Yeah. How pissed would you be if we had if you were in the losers bracket and freaking Gothmog shows up to the losers bracket, like,
I didn't even think about that, man.
It's all the pipsqueaks, and then Gothmog shows up to the losers bracket, like, "Hey, fellas, it was a rough one, but here we go."
Guys, I fucked up. Yeah, dude. Next year, or next time, we're definitely going to do a losers bracket, because that's a fantastic idea. We need to do that.
Oh, dude, just
next year. Shit. What about an off season?
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. All right, let's get into the first fight. Last two here from yesterday were Ungoliant Thorondor Chalk. And then all the rest of these fights are going to be tonight. The ones
for those that may not know, and I'm sorry to do this, but just for anybody that may not know, if you're not familiar with the lingo, what does chalk mean when you say that?
Yeah, good question. Sorry. So that's a March Madness term, I think, when you're making your brackets on a chalkboard, right? So it just means the top seeds win. So it's the expression all chalk. It's just, your top seeds beat the seeds that they're supposed to beat and advance. So it's all chalk, just like on the chalkboard.
Got it. Okay.
So we've got Maedhros against Thranduil. So this is a first stage Noldorin elf against a debatable second or third, definitely third age, but probably second age as well. The elves don't die; they just live forever, unless they get slain. So it's difficult to actually say how old Thranduil is. So anyway, we're talking about one of the premier archers in the game, and we've already seen that cause some upsets, right?
Oh,
with Beleg and with Faramir. Thranduil is, let's just check his stats. So he is accuracy 84, so he's on par with Beleg. Not quite as good. And then piercing 72. So he's a step down from Beleg on both range factors, but he's still a very good archer, okay? And then Maedhros is, a 5 seed primarily because he's not backing down from anything. Look at his valor stats, right? He's got stamina. He's a son of Feanor, one of the most stout elf lords of the first stage. He's the eldest son of Feanor. Valor 93, stamina 93. His striking isn't as good as the elite dudes in this contest, hence, 5 seed, not 1, 2, 3, right? Same with kind of some other ones like Ferocity. But, if you read the readouts up here, he should definitely be able to wound when he gets hits. And when he does wound, the hit should do damage compared to Thranduil's stats, okay? Because of all that, Maedhros is going to prefer... Actually, I'm a little surprised he prefers range, but all these first stage elves have, this light of the Eldar. They can channel. Think of it a little bit like spell casting, right? It isn't, ever directly seen on the page, except for with Finrod Felagund. Actually does do a spellcasting battle against Sauron. But we know from context and from other notes scattered throughout the Legendarium that the Eldar that did in fact live amongst the trees in Valinor with the gods, they're just magical beings, basically, is the easy way to think of it. And so they are capable of magic to some extent. So, the ones that didn't have bows ever in the stories, like Maedhros, we gave him the Light of the Eldar. It's a ranged attack. Okay. It's not.
I really like. Sorry, I was just going to say Maedhros' logo is one of my favorites. By the way.
Yes,
I like it a lot. By the way, in the line of, I'm sorry, Feanor's sons, which one is he?
He's the firstborn. So in the art, we couldn't do a cool version where
dang, that is awesome. No, it's sick.
Well, but he should have one hand, right? He's famous for getting pinned onto that cliff by Morgoth, and Fingon the Valiant has to come and get Faramdor to rescue him.
Yeah, but that would be unfair for this tournament, and it would depict him as crippled, which we don't want, right? So, we'll take him before he got tortured.
Exactly.
And then, the Thranduil one is pretty sick too.
I'm a fan of both of these guys. They're pretty
cripple
true
fight.
To lore. What's that?
Frodo versus the one-handed guy. We could do a cripple fight.
Yeah, Frodo when he's 9-fingered or whatever.
Exactly.
Or right after he's stabbed on Weathertop and becoming wraithy.
Exactly. Turning green and falling off his horse.
Yeah. So back to the stats here, just really quickly.
Sure.
The thing that jumps out at me, and the what do you call it? Dichotomy, I suppose, between the armor for Maedhros, or at least the armor advantage. It's not like 68 is super high, but the advantage shown by the red bars there in the bottom right chart is pretty tall. But then that versus the accuracy for the accuracy advantage for Thranduil. So it's going to be a lot of hits and tanks, is what I'm envisioning. And
could easily be
Maedhros kind of skirting out of it, maybe because of his armor. However, I don't know. The stamina for Thranduil is also pretty high. This could be a close one. I don't see any reason it wouldn't be. What are we at? A 5-12 here? It looks a little bit more like a, 10-6.
Yeah, and there hasn't been a 5-12 upset yet. Sorry. So is this our one? But, archers, elite archers, as we've already seen with Beleg, those arrows they're like cock push-ups if you're a Tenacious D fan. One's all you need.
Yeah. That's true, too. So, this, like I said, it should be a good one.
Let's see what happens.
Let's hit it,
Maedhros against Thranduil. Let us fight. Maedhros attacks first with the Light of the Eldar. Unsuccessful. Oh, first shot by Thranduil. Strikes and pierces. Yep. Here we go again. Oh!
But that could have done a lot more damage, that armor there.
Yeah, it could have. All right, Maedhros gets a slight hit there. Miss by Thranduil. Another stroke, but barely any damage. See, Thranduil, those dodgy wood elves, Ooh, another fell stroke. But not much damage. His aim is just freaking fantastic, though, Thranduil.
Armor, yep. Maedhros is hanging in there.
Misses. Thranduil hits again.
Elven-made armor. I'm telling you here. Look at this.
Look at this, man. It's just chipping away.
Yeah, but
Maedhros is going to have to switch to a sword, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a hit, but it doesn't do any damage. Here comes Thranduil. Got him again. Yeah. That's 5 arrows that have hit.
Pin cushion
him in. Let's see. All right, they're dancing a little bit back and forth. Oh, another hit. Again with the minor damage. Ultimately, though, the dice are going to roll in his favor, and he's going to shoot him in the eye.
Maybe.
Mydros has to use his sword.
He's
Another
got-
one.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, this is
chest
just...
or the belly.
Yeah, that's 7 arrows or something. I mean, goodness. He's looking like Boromir at this point.
Dude. Mydros is going to have to...
Oh,
there he goes.
No,
not enough. Not enough. Ain't going to cut it. All right, Thranduil shooting. Mydros finally uses his sword. The Sword of Heathlum, but he can't even engage. We didn't comment on it, but Thranduil is shifty. His agility is fantastic. You know, just like Legolas. He's Legolas' dad, after all. All right, they're going back and forth. Missing. Hitting, but doing no damage. Mydros hits, no damage. Thranduil, another stroke. Slay!
Oh!
First 5-12 upset of the Ultimate Tolkien Tournament.
Big time. Lots of hits from that archer. He had a lot of accuracy and all that.
Yeah, man. Thranduil. I'm reminded of Buffman. He was an excellent archer in that video game, too.
Yeah. Man. Cool. Yeah, that's an awesome 12-5 upset there. I mean, that one makes sense, and yeah, I mean, it just went well. Not fully the way I expected, because I kind of thought that Mydros was going to be able to get some more hits in there after resisting some of those, and he could have, but yeah, just not quite enough.
Yep. All right, so how we doing, people?
Armor, it turns out it's a big deal. Arrows and accuracy turn out huge deal.
Yeah. Armor doesn't cover everything, I guess. Can't cover your
Yeah, those constant hits, even though they weren't, I mean, they were all like good strikes and stuff, but you know, none of them were death strikes or anything like that.
Yeah, just chipped away pretty much. I think.
Yeah, he really did.
Let me move this, and because our answer is right there. Yeah, so he kept on getting slight smites, tink, 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 little blows, slight smites, and he ended up winning it with his like fourth slight smite.
Slight smite and a bunch of
38.9 damage. So his largest was like 39.
Yeah. Just to remind folks here on the far right of this chart, this flow chart, this is kind of how they're just humorous names we use, you know, for these things. We're not referring to something very specific. It's just the readout says tink if the damage done is between 0 and 15. Same thing with slight smite for anything in that range, 15 to 30. Heavily hewn is the biggest category, but you have to get a pretty nasty wound for that readout to happen, right? 30 to 90, and then of course your death strokes are just going to read out as slain in the battle phase here. So that's how that worked. Just a quick reminder.
Thanks, man.
Battle Engine Baus, welcome to the party. So yeah, first fight in the books. We will advance Thranduil, our first 12-5 upset as well.
Awesome.
We're going to speed right along since we're just a little behind because of the technical difficulties. All right, so
that's my sleeper. Well, not a sleeper really as a 4, but yeah. And I don't mean in this fight. I mean going forward. I expect him to upset Feanor. So that's a little bit of a fast forward. But yeah, he should handle his business here. But who knows? These orcs have been pesky so far.
Very, very much so. Yeah. And yeah, that's been a surprise even for us. They handle themselves pretty well. And I suspect... Here, let's look at the stats. So we're talking apples to apples. But I'll show you guys the... Wait for it. Show you guys the stats here for this next one. With orcs, what we've been seeing is the toughness stats are pretty high, right? And again here, where are we at? Yeah, it's looking like Bolg, about 20 points tougher than Glorfindel. And again, toughness is your innate. It doesn't have anything to do with armor. It's your innate sort of. Tolkien calls them races, right? Your racial toughness. We today would use different words, like your innate toughness, right?
Sure. Right. I hear you.
So, like toughness, just a quick reminder here. It's your natural ability without armament to resist harm. And what it's going to do is determine a third of your likelihood of withstanding damage. Orcs have great toughness, man. They're harder than woodpecker lips. So, I mean, but the problem is, it's just about the only advantage we got going on here, isn't it? Ferocity. Okay?
Yeah, no. But I'm more so than looking at the number of advantages, right? Is I'm looking at the differential. So as long as you're close, I don't care. Like it looks like he's relatively tied in some places, and that can get you where you need to get as long as you have. Some advantage somewhere where, again, ferocity and toughness, those two combined with everything else being, magic and spirit. We've seen this happen before, though, with the magic and spirit not being utilized because of battlefield conditions. So let's look. Sorry, go back to the other screen. What are the battlefield conditions? Did you already say that?
No. It's always a good thing to keep in mind. So,
favor Glorfindel.
Slightly favors Glorfindel. They're going to both use their preferred weapon 90% of the time, 91.5. Okay. So,
and Glorfindel prefers melee. Okay, got it.
Double should be a double melee type battle, which, man, you gotta think that favors Glorfindel.
Yeah, he has the stronger armor. And stronger valor. Sorry.
Yes, and when he does valor, when he does damage, it's going to be enhanced by this magic differential too. That's 1/3 of your wounding potential is this magic.
Sure.
So that's a big advantage, man. 50-point advantage on magic.
Yeah. Yep. I've picked Glorfindel, so go Glorfindel. I'm allowed to have a bias. I don't know. I didn't create the battle engine, so I'm just over here a fan like other viewers, but
no worries, man.
Along for the ride. So let's go.
Let's kick it off.
Although Bolg has another cool logo. So
he does.
If you're voting based on logos, then maybe you choose the gnarly looking orc over the heavenly looking elf. I don't know.
We won't judge. Let us fight. Glorfindel against Bolg. Let's fight.
Let's go.
Bolg right off the bat. Poison dart. Forced to use his less favorable weapon, but it still does a little damage.
Very interesting indeed.
All right, whiff. Oh, another blow with the scythe. Slice. Bolg's getting after it. He is not messing around.
These orcs, man.
They are. Glorfindel right
here we go.
at it. Oh, a severe wound. Heavily hewn. Glorfindel also doesn't like being hit, apparently.
He was
pretty
like,
even
okay,
fight.
You play like that?
20-point lead for Glorfindel going into just the fifth round here. But another blow just like that. How much damage?
Blood!
Hewn.
Whoa!
Oh! He needs some elf flesh. Whip. Bold's coming back. Okay, the goblin scythe fails to engage. They're going back and forth, failing to do any damage here. Dancing. Wow, everyone is hitting each other, and now they're just dancing. And bleeding. What color is elf blood? Glorfindel!
Come on.
A massive hewing stroke. Decapitation! Death stroke to Glorfindel! And Bolg is slain. Wow. Yeah, that was interesting because I don't think we've had a battle quite like that in terms of that many huge wounds in this short a fight. You know?
Hey, yeah, we were talking before how it's going to be very hand to hand, and they're just going to be going at it that way. So,
yep. Ooh, I thought
pretty
I
cool.
thought we were going to see another 13-4 upset.
It really looked like it. It really did. It would that have been a run? No. We've had a couple 4s win. I apologize. It was the 11-6s that kept going wonky, right? Like 3 11s won.
Yeah,
and only
3
1
11s.
6 leads.
That's right. Yep. And yeah, the 11s were doing great until Throndor finally won last night as a 6.
Yeah. That's who it was. I was just about to ask that. So you you got in your Palantir and
Yes, one of the 7. You thought it was thrown in the ocean, but really it's right here in my chamber of death.
yes.
So welcome, Battle Engine Bass. I think you were having mic difficulties earlier, but it sounds like you're back.
Yes, I needed the key to the dragon's lair to get in, but I finally got in, yeah.
Yes, those can be hard to find.
I know. Sometimes they require maps or email messages behind the scenes.
Or the moon at the right time.
Exactly.
The
moon letters.
Indeed.
So 2 down, 6 to go. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, but we're pretty much back on schedule. The next one we're looking at here is Turin Turambar against Maeglin.
Okay, so another son of Feanor tonight.
No, so this guy is Ayers, baby.
Do I keep doing that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah,
you're not the only one
about this, man. So,
you're not the only one, dude.
How many Sons of Feanor are in the tournament?
Just one.
Just the one, and he has been slain by a friend.
Indeed.
So,
yes. So 0 now.
Yeah, I don't know why night after night I can't get that straight, but he's got the Feanor look to him and all that, so I apologize.
He does.
Like red hair or some shit.
Well, look, the first 3 letters of the name are the same.
Yeah.
They look alike because they're both Noldor.
Literally look like twins.
I mean, I can totally get it.
Yeah. I mean,
that wasn't intentional, by the way. That's just kind of
going off my lore knowledge more than just these pictures. But again, it's been a while for the Silmarillion for me, so yeah. Anyways, and plus they all don't all the Sons of Feanor start with M, or am I incorrect in that as well?
No, they get like 2 pairs of 2. In fact, 2 of them are twins, Amrod and Amras.
Oh, that's right.
Or wait, damn, maybe I'm getting confused. So Kelegor, Karanthir, Kurufin. Okay, so those are the 3 C's. Maedros, Maglor. I've got the 5.
Maglor is who I keep confusing for Maglin.
Yeah, Maglor. He's the rock band kind of hippie one. He wanted to sing songs and make peace and everything. He was the most like his mother. The 3 C's were nasty bastards, and they were always causing trouble and like really clinging to the doom, the prophecy, the curse, the oath, the oath of Feanor. And then Amrod, Amras. I think that's 7 or 6, but yeah. Anyway, none of them made the tournament. They might qualify for later tournaments.
Yeah, none of them survived either in the War of Wrath.
No,
all of them slain.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. It's just brutal for all of them. But that was the Oath of Feanor, and I was Team Feanor, as you know, in the book all the way up. I can forgive him even the ship, the kinslaying at Alqualande, maybe the ship burning, although that was a dick move. But I can't forgive him just on his deathbed. It says he, with foresight, knowing what it would mean, held his sons with his dying words to the oath that he had already sworn.
Wow. When
he could have let it go, he said, "Now keep to the oath and get those Silmarils back from Morgoth." Payback.
Yeah. I mean, and we talked about it for a few nights here, so we don't need to beat a dead Feanor too much. But yeah, he was he was seeing red, fully seeing red for a couple of weeks there. And yeah, that doesn't do anybody any good, but such a cool story though. Hey, so a lot on Maeglin there. Let's touch on Turin a little bit.
So that was for Maedhros. We still need to get just a few words in about
Right.
Maeglin and so Turin, shifting gears a little bit. So Turin is the son of Húrin, who hasn't fought yet, so we haven't really talked about him. But
Badass logo. The Children of Húrin is a Tolkien book, right?
It is, yeah. It's part of the Silmarillion, but it was fleshed out by Christopher Tolkien in derivative work, the Sons of Húrin, and it really should be called the Curse of Húrin. It's another one of those Tolkienian Shakespearean type style tragedies where it's bad from the beginning, and it's still good, right? You keep reading because you got to know just how bad everything gets, and it all started with Húrin. I'll just show you a picture of him. We'll hear from him later, so you'll remember this guy on the left with the battle axe. He was the mightiest warrior of men, faithful to the house of Turgon of Gondolin. So he entered the service of Turgon fatefully, and when I say fatefully, you could kind of view this as a Clash of the Titans sort of Greek mythology situation where the gods have their master chessboard and they're moving pieces around. I don't know if this is out there, probably in a Reddit thread somewhere, but just my own interpretation, it seems awfully resonant with some of the gods interfering from distance, even though they've sworn not to. We know Ulmo does. We know Orome does. We know Mondos is the doomsman of them all, right? He knows exactly what's going to happen. Even Manwë, though, the biggest pussy in all the books, just sitting in his tower in Valinor, doing nothing to help the elves, actually kind of arguably does with Thorondor and his eagles. He sends them several times in very timely situations, right? And he's keeping watch, at the very least, he's keeping watch through Thorondor. So it's interesting. Anyway, Húrin, whether by the gods or just by his own manliness, ends up slaying 70 trolls, defending Turgon's retreat at the Battle of Unnumbered Tears in the First Age. 70 trolls. And this is the First Age. Okay, so think of them as like Olag High of Mordor, the troll guard of Gothmog. May he rest in peace. Yeah, and so legendary, like almost mythological level accomplishment. And then he finally gets beaten into the dust, but not killed, and he gets captured. And then Morgoth, from a distance, as he does, is sort of puppeteering his main lieutenants like Gothmog. He orders them not to kill this guy because he's curious, like, okay, who the hell just did that to me? Who is this man? And why don't I know enough about mans? I thought they were puny, wretched little mortals, right? And then, so he brings Húrin to Thangorodrim and chains him up and tortures him. And for years, this guy he just defies Morgoth and spits in his face and won't say anything. And so what Morgoth does is he curses not him, but his entire family. And then through the eyes of Morgoth, Húrin has to watch the curse unfold while he's being taken care of. And it's sort of, maybe not humanely treated, but kept alive, and watch this curse unfold. And so back to Turin here. Turin, son of Húrin, is the first to sort of live out this curse. And so every step he's taken, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 3 steps back. He's the mightiest, just like his dad. He kicks a fair amount of ass in battle. And he ends up, this is a funny connection here, actually, because the sword that Maeglin's father, Eorl, crafts out of a fallen meteorite, he's this outcast dark elf that lives all alone in the woods, close to Menegroth, but not in Menegroth. He's in exile, right? And he just, by all accounts, is doing his own thing all by himself in the woods, Rumpelstiltskin style. And one of the rebel chicks of the Noldor, Turgon's daughter of Gondolin, Aradel, sneaks out of Gondolin and ends up marrying Eöl in the woods, and they fathered this. They're the parents of Maiglin, which means sharp glance, because he had the sharp eyes of his father, but he's half Noldor too. So Maiglin here is half dark elf, which is kind of one of those speculated about areas of in the Tolkien legendarium. You know, it's kind of one of those unanswered questions, like what was Eöl's family tree? You know, what makes him a dark elf? You know, and what makes the other elves, especially the Noldor, hate him and revile him for being a dark elf, right? A lot of cool storylines. Anyway, the funny intersection is Maeglin's sword, Anglachel, is actually the sword that Túrin ends up with a series of exchanging of hands that we don't have time for now. But Túrin ends up wielding the sword that Maeglin's father made and slaying a dragon with it, slaying Glaurung with that sword. So he's a dragon slayer. He's a renegade. He's the mightiest warrior among mortal men for his time. And tonight he's fighting Maeglin, he was one of the craftsmen of Gondolin under Turgon, and he ends up betraying Gondolin to its doom. Because, in a dirty storyline, I'll just say one word on it, he falls in love with his cousin, and he knows he can't marry her.
Yeah,
and she loves someone else. She loves a man. Tuor. So elves start getting all mixed. All elves started get all mixed with people at that point, and Tuor weds Idrial in the first joining of men and elves since Beren and Luthien, and the Idrial Tuor line gives birth to the half-elven and Eärendil and Elrond and the Númenóreans and all the studs that we see in the Third Age. So I'm gonna stop talking and we'll do some fighting. Sorry, guys.
All good, man. Love the lore stories.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. I'm not sharing the actual battle screen. Here we go.
We need the lore stories on everybody who's not Third Age, because a lot of us only know the Third Age.
Yeah, fair enough. Not a problem. So stat-wise here, I'll let you guys chop this up just for a couple minutes and we'll watch the fight. How about that?
Yep, sounds good, man. All right, so looks like Túrin has quite a few advantages here. Again, not so much on magic or spirit, and not so much on armor. So like a fight or so ago, it's relatively similar. Yeah, so let's see here. Striking for Túrin is the 85. 8-point advantage. And then he has, whatever that is, 35-point advantage on armor. So both of those will come into play. Yeah, I'm picking Túrin. I don't really have anything to say. I mean, the 90 agility for Maeglin is obviously going to help him, kind of roll around, maybe dodge some stuff. But I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Oh, wait. I noticed a couple things.
Yeah.
Can I say a couple things? Look at the last two comparing skills. Maeglin should be able to wound during ranged, and he has chosen ranged as his favorite for 95% of the time. And Maeglin should be able to make wounds damaging in ranged. Those two are key, whereas all those other things, like Túrin should be able to hit if engaged in melee, but he's not. Oh, yeah, he is. Sorry. I got that wrong. Yeah, the top two Túrins are also. It feels to me like the last battle. This isn't going to last long.
Interesting. Okay. And let's see. They're both preferring melee. Is that right? No. Maeglin.
No.
Yeah, Maeglin wants to do range with his javelin. Okay. Ooh, and Gurthong. I think it was called Anglachel earlier in the story. They renamed their swords just to keep you on your toes. All right. Let us fight.
There we go.
Turin against Maiglin. Right off the
Let's go,
bat.
Turin.
Maiglin uses the javelin throw but misses. Swing and a miss for Turin. A hit but no damage for Maiglin. Swing and a miss. A hit and a wound. Slight smite with the javelin of
Wow.
Maiglin with the 40-point lead. Ooh, Gurthan can engage the shifty Maiglin, the little sneaky dark elf. All right, back and forth they go. A little bit of dancing here. Oh, another hit, but no wounds. Okay. Off the armor. Another toss and a miss. Oh, Turin's coming back.
Come on, Turin. Let's
Just
go.
cannot hit the guy.
Let's go. Yep, that's
A hit and a wound. Tink!
The agility.
There's the first wound. Oh, heavily
A big one, too.
Gurthong, the black blade, does its work. A javelin toss and an engaging miss. Oh, another wound by Turin. Is it enough?
Whoa!
Slain.
Let's go. Turin.
2
Best
hits.
logos. Also a very cool character.
Yes. Well, there you have it. Two hits was all he needed with Gurthong or Anglachel, whichever you prefer. He's got an unbelievable sword, a legendary sword, and that always helps. And he's got the dragon helm of Dorlomi, that war mask that he has. So he's hard not to like, that guy. And of course, no one can root for Maiglin. I think debatably he's the most evil character in the story. I mean, you're talking to a guy who doesn't think that.
No.
What's that?
The most evil character in the story is easily meme.
Ooh, okay, I like it. Yeah, but yeah, that you're on my wavelength because I don't think just pure forces of entropy like Melkor before he was renamed Morgoth. Before Melkor started messing with elves and getting them into the story, he was just a pure force of rebel entropy, right? And it's an open question. Is that really evil? It was part of the music of the Ainur. It was foreseen by Ilúvatar. And he said, everything you do, Melkor, is just going to redound in its utmost end to the enrichment of my design.
That
How
whole
cool is
first,
that?
It's very, very cool. And I don't mean to cut you off, but that whole first, chapter or 2 of the Silmarillion is really trippy.
Oh, yeah.
It is very strange. But
I just think it's a cool question to grapple with, and I would encourage everyone who reads the Silmarillion, like, is Morgoth, it seems like such a stupid question, but is Melkor, certainly before he becomes Morgoth, even actually evil? Or is he just a force of entropy against...
Well, it's discord is what it is. And discord is relatively natural. He didn't like the song. He said, this is kind of weird. I'm going in a different direction, and y'all are all homogenous, and I'm not. So, yeah, part of that's fine. But when you start becoming like Hitler, then it's not okay.
Yeah, I mean, so the other Valar would build stuff, and he'd toss it down and say, I mean, I'm pretty much as strong as any 3 of you guys. If you all band together, you could take me, but any 3 of you guys, bring it. And he just... They build the lamps of the Valar, and he'd chop them down, again
Plus,
and
Manwë
again.
is a bitch.
Say again.
Plus, Manwë is a bitch.
That's right. It is known. Yeah, and so, I don't know. When I'm thinking about Maiglin, though, it's closer to the version of evil, human evil that we know, like betrayal. What is more evil than betrayal, than knowingly, turning on someone you love? That's a bad one, man. That's a deep one. It's an ugly one.
So in that case, if we're going to take it to the Third Age, do you consider Saruman more evil than Sauron?
I certainly think it's arguable, but poor guys like Gothmog, I mean, he was designed. He was a Maiar of fire, and his peers were telling him, you can't use your power. Until Morgoth came along and said, join me and you can use it all you want.
Yeah.
So is that really evil? I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, Tolkien is very much a, kind of a good versus evil writer. But I think we should grapple with these questions anyway.
No, but he is a good versus evil writer, but he also has I would say one of the most, one of the deepest characters in all of literature, one of the most interesting characters in all of literature, I've argued for some time, is Smeagol, Gollum. Yeah. He is... he like embodies like the human race almost with like I don't know, that might be going a little far, but just the way that he represents both good and evil, and the battle within one person, or hobbit, or hobbit thing that he becomes, but anyways, I've always thought that he was a highly underrated, not underrated because he's extremely like popular. Everyone knows who Gollum is, even like like very in-depth Tolkien fans know. But just as far as the story itself, obviously we don't have him in the tournament here. Maybe something later. I don't know. But he's never known much as a fighter, but his sneaking ability and things like that were always incredible.
Totally. All right. So where are we at in the fight list? Oh, yes.
Good evening, foul ones.
Santi!
Good evening, foul one.
What's going on, bud?
I hope you caught the last conversation, because that was the best thing ever. I love that, the good and evil thing.
Battle Engine Bows is here for the lore. I love it.
Yeah.
And you do need to still read the Silmarillion, especially, what I would suggest actually is Andy Serkis, who played Gollum, does the most recent audiobook version. Can't recommend it enough. I was telling Hanti the other night, it's a little distracting at first because you just keep thinking of Gollum. At least I do. It's like, he does his voice and it's, yes, my precious. And you're kind of you're thinking, okay, I should be listening to the story and I can't stop thinking about freaking Smeagol. But he's just a masterful voice actor. So I can't recommend that enough. That's a good one on your drives to across Texas there.
Gotcha.
So our next battle is a 15-2, which usually we wouldn't have too much to say about this kind of thing. But the way this tournament's gone, we've already seen a 15-2 upset when Gandalf was slain by an Uruk-hai, one of Saruman's Uruk-hais, Ugluk. So could Bard, who has been known to slay dragons before, mind you, could he pull this 15-2, fellas?
Ooh, well, I mean, it's Glaurung is definitely a step up from Smaug. So, yeah, I mean, but it's possible. We've seen crazy things happen. So, I mean, never say never, I guess.
Yeah, there's always a chance. This is Tolkien after all, but let's see what's going on with the stats here. Anything that you can single out that favors Bard? I mean, obviously the accuracy. Dragonfire is not as accurate. It's a blast attack, right? So it's just area coverage, but it's so damaging if it hits you. So the accuracy, just comparing the two, Bard is 85, Glaurung is 71. So again, pinpoint weapon versus a blast weapon. But if they hit you on the piercing side, 99 for Glaurung. Doesn't get any more deadly than that. And only 68 for Bard.
Now, didn't we see an archer versus a dragon the other day? Was it
Faramir slew Smaug.
There we go. So yeah, I mean, it could be something similar to that, I guess.
Yeah.
So something I see is piercing for Bard is 68. So these are conventional arrows, not poison, not magic tip, not anything.
Not
Correct.
the black arrow, not the one.
Yeah.
Right.
We could
Versus
assume
the-
he might have one of those, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deflection for Glaurung, 88. So the 68 is going to have trouble getting through the 88.
Oof, it is. Yeah, that's a good catch there.
Hmm.
They're both going to try range, but Glaurung's range is just so much more brutal. And let's see, the battlefield conditions do favor Glaurung, so they're going to both get their choice. Actually, that's what Bard wants to. Bard can't do crap without his bow. So
No. Glaurung believes that he's more ambidextrous than Bard, so he's going to play in such a way. He's going to play it in such a way that both of them have to go to their weak weapon, which he thinks Bard's weapon's weaker than his weaker, if that makes any sense.
that makes perfect sense, and it's totally true because, yeah, he's a dragon at the end of the day. So even if he's not fighting from range, we're talking about what? 91 ferocity, 94 valor, 90 striking, with 80 magic. Now, keep in mind, compared to other dragons, Glaurung does have magic. He was hand selected by Morgoth to speak in voices and cast hypnotic spells. If you look into his eyes, he's got 80 magic. So the dude's a tank. It's a cheat code. Enough said.
Well,
No.
He's my next favorite now that Gothmog is gone. I believe I had Glaurung versus Gothmog in the final, if I'm not mistaken, in my original pick. So yeah, let's go Glaurung. Bard, you got lucky the first time, bud.
In Battle Engine Bouts, you're about to say?
So notice this. Bard's ferocity 52 and Bard's striking 50 are weak. So he's not great with his sword. So that's why Glaurung is not going to just back away and do ranged on ranged, which gives Bard a chance. He's going to mix it up, as you see with that 64.8.
Well, we would think, and hopefully he has that kind of smarts. We've seen some other guys not use their preferred weapon, and sometimes that's because of battlefield conditions, and sometimes it's because they're dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we will see. I think we've only seen that once, and I can't remember who it was specifically. That was man, who was that? Was it Gothmog? I mean, he was using his whip. Yeah, we were saying that he should use his axe, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was the one. All right. Let us fight, eh?
Let's go.
Glaurung against Bard. Let us fight. Bard, first shot, actually wounds, but doesn't barely do any damage. Glaurung comes, also doesn't do much damage. A glancing blow with the flames of the dragon. Bard shoots and misses. Glaurung strikes. Slight wound. Teek! Bard shoots, misses. The dragon again. Breathing fire, but not doing any burning damage here. Oops. Miss. Hit! Oh, a fell stroke. Heavily hewed burns the Lake Town man. A shot! No damage. Barely any damage. And a burning blow. Slain!
Wow.
And the dragon makes short work of the man of Dale. Bard is slain.
Well, that was definitely not a Faramir-like performance.
Assuredly not. Yeah, about what we'd expect, though, eh?
That's true. Glaurung is the father of all dragons, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, tough draw for the Dragon Slayer. Although, he was a Dragon Slayer. But, yeah, it didn't go his way in that one. So, let's take a little look at the bracket here. I like to always reorient ourselves. Here, let's go to the website, the master bracket. So we've already seen Thranduil pull the 12-5 upset. He will advance to take on Glorfindel.
Go on, Glorfindel.
Seriously.
Hey, Josh, what's going on, buddy? You're
Dude,
back.
I'm back and I'm in and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I got to run.
Yeah, gotcha. No issue, man. So we got Glorfindel against Thranduil. That'll be interesting. Down here, we just saw Glaurung beat Bard, and then Turin defeated Maeglin. So that's going to be Turin, the Dragon Slayer, against the very dragon he slew.
Ooh.
Not intentional, actually. That's one of those funny strokes of luck that happens sometimes in
That
brackets.
would be very interesting.
Yes, indeed.
Have we have any other matchups that actually happen in the lore?
Good question. I'd be surprised if we...
Some that were close, like Ungoliant versus Frodo, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some that were close. I can't think of any at the time other than that one, but yeah, there were definitely some that were. And even just a minute ago, was seeing Bard against a dragon. That's another one that's close, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's exactly. And then here, I've just seen this one, which we're going to fight in a bit here. They met. Indirectly they fought, right? Huan jumped in front of her and slew this guy, but they encountered each other in the lore, so that'll be interesting. So that is where we're at. We are halfway through our fights for the evening, gentlemen. Yet to come, Huan against Shelob, our last 12-5. And the one we just talked about, that's Draugluin taking on Luthien to Nuviel. Then Húrin against Azog. Good 7-10 there, and we touched a little bit on Húrin earlier. And then the nightcap, we got another one that shouldn't be close, but never say never, Saruman against Shagrat.
Ooh, I'm excited about this Huan versus Shelob matchup. Just, I guess it's not often that we see, like a mythical beast versus another mythical beast.
Yeah, it's a cool one, right?
I'm going underdog on that one. I think Shelob's got that one hit up the sleeve a death strike.
Yeah. So meanwhile, we got our next fight here, our last 5-12. What are we seeing here that could prove Josh right in the Shelob over Huan department? Shelob's the blue line, so ferocity, striking, armor. There you have it. Ferocity, striking, and armor advantages. Otherwise, Huan's got some pretty legit advantages here. But what it often comes down to is what are they choosing to use? Melee and melee. Ooh.
So the accuracy is a lot stronger for Huan, obviously.
But it's lost if he uses melee. So, and they're going to try to use 93% favored weapons.
Pretty significant armor advantage
I have
for
a
Shelob.
lost audio.
Oh, hey, bud. What's up, man?
Welcome.
Yes.
To the Chamber of Death.
You remember it well. So yeah, it's it's just one of those kind of unlike, Witch King versus Gimli or a couple of the other 512s. This doesn't seem as likely.
So you're saying you're not going to be left wondering who won? I'll kick myself out after that.
Auntie.
Please do.
I liked it. I'm smiling.
He literally kicked himself.
Yep. He at least
You have-
muted himself.
You have been banished from the kingdom of Rohan.
Forthwith.
Yeah.
Kicked himself out, literal.
But hey, listen, Shelob, are we underestimating her, perhaps?
Like the only chance she has is block as much as you can, But even her armor is not as good as
Her armor,
the accuracy and the attack of Huon.
That's true, but it's better than Huon's. Her armor, anyway.
Yeah, so she has to attack first and attack strong and attack fast. Like she's got to kill him immediately.
Oh, wait a minute. So, hold on. Wait a minute. So,
Yeah, the striking versus armor analysis.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's always a chance.
Yeah!
There you go. Striking 90 for Shelob.
Agility,
And armor
ferocity,
is
and striking are all
43 for
high.
Huon. Whoa.
So she can melee. She can melee.
I only caught the very end as she can melee of that because I think we were talking at the same time. Sorry about that. Can you say that again?
Yeah. My audio's cutting in and out. Agility, ferocity, and striking are all high for Shelob.
Correct.
So you better be, hard to defend against her in a melee.
Yeah, so the one thing I'm seeing here is striking is 90 against Huon's armor is bad. It's 43. And we've already seen that in the Gandalf fight. That doesn't mean she'll do great damage, but what it will mean is her hits, when she's able to engage and strike, am I saying this right? Yeah. Engage and strike, she has a high likelihood to wound. It's just how bad will the wound be?
Yeah. That's why I said she's got to attack fast and heavy. Like, she's got to be aggressive.
Yep. All right, let us fight. Huon versus Shelob. Let us fight.
Man, I've seen that intro how many times now, and I still love it. Oh my gosh.
heck yeah.
Right off the
Wow,
bat, the jaws of Valinor bite into the spider flesh and wound. The spider comes back, misses. The wolfhound misses. Shelob can't engage. Huon engages but can't hit. They're dancing now. And they're dancing. They're wrestling. Oh, she hits, but again, no wounds.
Let's go, Lob.
Another failed stroke, but doesn't do a ton of damage. Huon's up by, 40 points going into the 12th round.
Wow.
Spider-Man.
Back and forth.
All right.
Go.
Huon is stomping.
The battle of fangs, of different style of fangs. Which fangs do you prefer? The poisonous kind or the slobbery kind?
Shelob could still win this.
Snap! All right, another slight wound.
Shelob could win this.
Yeah? Oh, there's a stroke. Damaging! Slight smite.
Big time.
She evens the fight a little. Teak! Miss. Hit, but no damage.
Very elusive creatures.
They're going back
Very
and forth.
elusive.
Yeah,
Back
they're
and forth.
dancing.
Another stroke. Teak! Not enough damage to move the needle. Another wound by the wolfhound. But, again, very slight damage. All right.
I'm very surprised at her defense, man. Like she's taking heat, but she's she ain't dead yet.
She ain't dead yet. But Huan's able to land all the blows here. So if that continues, watch out. Now they're dancing. Another wound by the Wolfhound. Slight smite.
Wow.
Approaching the 40th round.
Huan.
Shelob has only 23 life left. They're dancing. They're going back and forth. Another failed stroke by the Wolfhound. Slain.
Dead.
Huan wins.
Huan.
Yeah.
Slate.
Indeed, Patty Man. So there you have it. No, we will not have another 12-5. So the 12-5 odds align perfectly with March Madness, as you would, because March Madness 12-5 upsets are about 25% likely. Although lately, like the past 5 or 6 years, you end up getting 2 of them more often than 1. But historically, it's about a quarter likelihood, and we had 1 12-5 this year. So how about them apples?
Delicious.
Quick break for me, fellas. Discuss.
Crazy
I
fight.
heard someone say something before I got on stream about Mr. Osim.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had flashbacks.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a dog now that kind of reminds me of Mr. Oshim. Different breed, but similar attitude.
Santiago,
that
were
dog-
you talking to me about
him
the
and
speaker?
Laney.
No. Because Patty was talking about the
Okay.
the stream being muted on his end. That's why I was saying if you use StreamYard on your phone, sometimes Chrome isn't really the best.
Oh, yeah.
I connected to the stream and then I plugged in my microphone and then it changed my default audio device. So I just had to reset it.
That always happens to me at work.
Totally different.
Yeah. So I'm trying to join a work meeting, and that happens. And
Operator error.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear from you guys. It's been a while.
You too, man. Are you still in Colorado?
Yeah.
So it's one of those ID 10T errors.
Wait for it. ID.
Oh.
Say that again, Josh.
Type it in the chat. ID 10T. ID, the number 10, and then T.
I get it.
Gullible is written on the ceiling.
Not on mine, I checked.
Yep. Very nice. Cool. So our next fight is I've been looking forward to this one. Draugluin against Luthien.
This is so we just had this conversation a minute ago about any fights that have actually happened in the lore. Here we go. Oh, that was Karkaroff.
It's about as close as you can get.
Gosh darn it. Yeah. Very close.
Yeah, exactly.
I did have questions, but I'll let you go ahead and run the stream.
No, now's the time for questions. We're not fighting this for a few minutes here.
I was watching the YouTube videos that you posted, like the pre-setup, the bracket setup, and all that.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't sure exactly because Luthien, her big thing is she can enchant people, right? She can put them to sleep, whatever. How does that affect the algorithm? How does that play into that?
Yeah, freaking fantastic question. So her
Great
talent
question.
is going to be exactly. It's going to be much more magically based is the easy answer. We can go deeper on that too, though. Let me just pull up the stats for you.
I suppose my question would be, is her ability to do magic separate from, say, putting Morgoth to sleep? Or is that going to be, is she scaled to Morgoth now?
No, I think that, good question. I think that's it's not like she necessarily defeated Morgoth, but I think that is an instance that shows how much power she was capable of. So yeah, it's a good comp, but also look, she's a 4 seed,
right?
So I think that
that's fair. I think.
Yeah. I think that kind of kind of factors in a bit, right?
Plus, there's always the death stroke.
Yeah, but so Patty, man, so yeah, her when you're seeding, not seeding, but when you're evaluating, Madden stats, quote unquote, or what's the soccer game you play, Hanti? I'm
FIFA.
I say Madden stats too much, and folks that don't play Madden aren't going to really relate to that. So what else could we call it?
I mean,
Chell, bro. Chell.
What?
Chell.
Oh, NHL.
Chell.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what are you talking
It's like, what is
kids,
Chell?
the kids call it Chell.
The Chell.
C-A-E-L.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Like, that's what you want to play Chell, bro? Let's go play Chell.
Silly Canadians.
Yeah.
I do hear him say that on SportsCenter too, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, Luthien, worst armor than Gandalf, even, right? She's got some weaknesses. She, ferocity is not her thing, right? Toughness, not so much. She is half Maya, but that doesn't go really towards toughness. But she's maxed out at things like magic, ton of stamina, valor and magic and elusiveness are really her things, right?
Listen, I want another upset.
Draugluin.
Luthien is overrated.
Yep, you learn.
People to sleep with her abilities.
And that's kind of what I was getting at. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. It works in certain situations, but one-on-one
Okay.
deathmatch,
Okay, so you were kind of going the other way. I see.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm with you.
I had a
Luthien
professor.
the DD of the Silmarillion.
Wait, what?
What? You're gonna DD? What'd you say? DDS the Oh my goodness!
Let's put it in chat.
Oh, gosh.
I had a professor with Luthien's powers of putting people to sleep. I bet he was a 100.
He was a 100. I think I had that same professor.
He would travel from school to school, putting vulnerable students to sleep.
God.
He's a bad professor.
Draugluin.
Draugluin.
So basically, you can tussle with Luthien, but you might not last long.
Yes.
Yes.
So
She'll put you to sleep. Yeah.
Starter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I just said, and then she'll put you to sleep.
Yeah. She'll put you night.
Yeah, a dirt nap.
Mm-hmm. With her abilities.
With
Yes.
their abilities. Exactly. You guys know exactly how this works.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going for the 13-4 upset. I believe in Draugluin. I believe in evil dread beasts.
Ooh, yes. Those
Starting
that
to sound
are
like the
hand-fed by Sauron, Gorthaur, perhaps.
Yeah. And he kind of reminds me of the dog in the Omen, too. The original one. The original Omen. The one that just stands there, you know what I'm talking about?
Ugh.
I did this for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all for you, Damien.
I don't know, man. That new one, the previews of the new one are starting to bother me. Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll still see it.
All right. I was going to talk about lore, but I don't feel like we can do that after all this nonsense. So let us fight, and then we'll talk about lore.
Okay.
Battle.
Fight!
Luthien against Draugluin.
It's on.
Luthien strikes first, but misses. The Dreadbeast wounds, but not very much. Luthien again, swing and a miss. And they're failing to engage or missing, back and forth. The first wound by Luthien is a slight smite.
Yeah.
24 damage.
Battle Engine Boss predicted it. That wasn't that big, but still.
Okay. Through 10 rounds, both are very much still alive. But can Draugluin use his fangs and get a wound here? The jaws of Gaurhoth. Not doing any damage. Oh, another wound. Slight smite.
I think they're just cuddling. They might just be cuddling on the couch or something.
Yeah. Can they heat things up and take it to the next level? All right, Luthien. No. Fails to hit. Oh, Luthien again. Tink. Oh, man. Draugluin can't even engage, let alone penetrate.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, miss. Back and
You're
forth.
bad.
Another wound by Luthien.
Oh no!
Oh, dude, your bad guys are
so
sucking.
hot. She just thinks she's so hot.
Man.
Your bad guys are sucking, David.
Draugluin is on the ropes.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's these stupid elves. I'm sick
And
tired.
that will do it.
Ah!
The
Oh,
wolf of Sauron
dude.
slay.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And there you have it.
Well, that was weird to me because Luthien took 5 hits to put him down. I thought she's the kind of person that would be rare to get a hit, but when she gets one, wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that dog could not touch her.
I love that dog.
I want to pet that dog.
I think it's a pig.
Can I pet that dog?
I want to pet that dog.
Yeah, so 2 first age characters that some of our audience might not actually recognize. You had to have heard of Luthien. She's actually mentioned in the Fellowship of the Ring when Strider's basically reading campfire stories to the hobbits. She's maybe most famous for the first union of elves and men was Beren and Luthien, right? Beren being the mortal ranger of Dorthonion, who by fate wanders through the maze. The first Gorgoroth was actually in the first age, the mountains where Ungoliant bred with all sorts of foul beasties and created monsters of spider shape in these canyons north of a forest called Doriath. And in Doriath, Thingol, the forefather of all the Sindar elves, these are the elves that never made it to Valinor, right? They chose to stay in Middle Earth. They have their dwarven-built fortress / underground castle called Menegroth. Really cool thing. And that's where Luthien was born to a Maya mother, Melian, and a Sindar father, Thingol. And there she was in Menegroth, just doing what elves do in Menegroth, frolicking. Probably a lot of frolicking in the woods.
So real quick, Maiar are the gods, and what are the other ones again?
Maiar are the angels, basically, and the Valar are like the demigods.
Yeah,
right?
but her dad.
Yeah, so
Her dad was started with a G or something. You said
a Sindarin elf.
Oh,
yeah, Sindar. So there's Noldor, which are the guys that lived in Valinor amongst the gods and were sort of imbued with magic powers, so to speak, right? For lack of a better way of saying it. And then the Sindar remained in Middle Earth, so they don't have the light in their eyes. They don't glow. They don't, summon strange like star powers. That's all Valar stuff that was sort of indirectly gifted to the Noldor. So any dude with a name that starts with Finn has been over there and, stood toe to toe with the Maiar and the Valar and, sort of reflects some of that power. The Sindar are a different branch of elves. So they're more your Legolas speed elves, wood elves, archers, songwriters, hippie elves, right? Which doesn't mean they can't do damage, right? It's just a different breed. They suck at forging stuff. They suck at building stuff. So when Thingol wanted to build his mansion, he had to call the dwarves, and the dwarves came and they said, "All right, we got you, Thingol. Sit this one out. I mean, your craftsmen can help, but we're basically going to build you a kick-ass castle, but we're going to build it underground because we can throw kegs over 30-foot walls in kilts that our moms made us when we were 20." I don't know why they always have Scottish accents, but they always do. And so, yeah, they built Menegroth for Thingol, and they gave birth to Luthien, who is half Maya and half Elvish. Baron comes jangling out of these mountains of shadow and sees Luthien just standing in a glade. And, he's half dead, starving, torn to bits. But he still creamed his pants when he saw her and then passed out. True story. And so,
well, it's easier to do when you're really hungry.
That's right. That's right. We don't fault him for any of that.
Oh, that's true, but whatever.
They also didn't have the internet, So
yeah. Well, we don't have the internet in Texas right now.
So yeah, so that's Luthien. She falls. Mostly she just has I don't know. She's one of those chicks that's like, I feel bad for him, so I guess I'm going to get with him. And so that's kind of their relationship. And then, their love grows so much so that, she sticks up for him when he meets her dad, and his dad loses his marbles and says, "How dare you bring one of those uncouth races into my castle?
How dare you?
Death you have brought upon yourself with these words, man." And so he says, "Ha ha ha, I know how to get rid of you. Now, you can touch my daughter if and only if you march straight up to Thangorodrim and you knock on Morgoth's door. And not only that, you got to go into his dungeon and bring me back a Silmaril from his crown. Then, and only then, may you touch my daughter." And so he says, "Oh, dude, that's a pretty cheap price you pay for a half Maiar, half elf. Sit back and watch. Hold my beer. I'll be right back."
Back in 10,
Back in 10. And off it goes. And, to defy all the odds. And then, Luthien, that's, I think, when she really, really falls for him and is like, "Hey, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to go help him." So she sneaks out and helps him on his mission. And now we're getting to the Draugluin part, meanderingly, because halfway between Menegroth and Thangorodrim, where the Dark Lord lives, Sauron has seized a tower built by Josh's boy Finrod Felagund. And he took Finrod's watchtower, and it used to be called Minas Tirith, a name that you should remember. The first Minas Tirith was built by Felagund, and the city in Gondor was named after it. So anyway, the first Minas Tirith was seized by Sauron using werewolves and sorcery. And so once he took the tower, he renamed it Tol In Gaurhoth, which means the island of werewolves.
Damn.
And his nastiest werewolf was this guy on your left, Draugluin.
Oh,
And
evidently not nasty enough for all.
didn't end up being nasty enough because Huan joined Beren and Luthien, leaving the care of his original master. Oh, was it? I always forget. Caligorm or Curufin, one of the two sons of Feanor. One of the two kind of bad sons of Feanor, we'll say. They basically saw Huan, basically saw Luthien, and again, it's this interfering by, I want to say, Orome that I sense here, because Huan felt his fate upon him, and he said, I know now what my purpose in life is. It's not to hunt with these two twats, Caligorm and Curufin. It's to protect Luthien from something evil. And he speaks the prophecy of Huan, which is he will not die until he encounters the most fell werewolf ever to walk the earth. And so they get to Tol In Gaurhoth, and they see Draugluin coming across the bridge, sent down by Sauron. And Huan says, "Oh, maybe this is my hour." So Luthien is about to do a spell, a sleeping spell. It's kind of her thing. She tosses her cloak up, and then Huan leaps in front and, seizes Draugluin by the throat and rips out its throat. So he's like, all right, I guess that wasn't the prophecy one. Next! And so Sauron has to change into he sees his moment, and Sauron changes into a werewolf trying to fulfill the prophecy himself. And so Sauron turns into, man, I'm forgetting the name. Anyone remember the name of the wolf that he turns into?
Wasn't it the one on Twilight?
Or no, that...
You mean Jacob?
Jacob. It's not Turing with you.
Team Jacob.
That's the one you're talking about, Josh, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
No, not Glaurung. That's a dragon, obviously. That's not what I meant to say. Gorthal. Or is that just one of his? That's one of his other names. I always thought that was the. Nah, I don't know.
You guys bail me out. Put it in the comments if you remember the name of Sauron in werewolf form.
I honestly do not recall him having a specific name.
I don't either.
I think Draugluin is the only wolf that had a name.
Okay, fair enough. I think you're right, Patty Man.
Other than Huan.
Yeah, other than Huan.
Yeah, so Sauron comes down thinking, I'm going to... Go ahead.
I think in the book, it says something along the lines of, like, and then Sauron took the form of, like, a great wolf or something.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was like he took a dreadful wolf shape.
Because shortly after, he changed into a vampire as well, right?
Correct. Turing with you. Yeah, the only vampire in Tolkien lore, super interesting, like rabbit hole. We could do some time with that. But for the purposes of this fight, Draugluin gets slain by Huan. Sauron comes down, gets pinned by Huan. He's about to rip Sauron's throat out too, and he
foreshadowing, perhaps.
Yes, he shifts shape at the last minute and changes into this bat, vampire bat, and gets away barely. And so
now is this before or after the prophecy of no man can kill me?
That's the Witch
before.
King.
Yeah, before. So that's a third age prophecy.
Oh, but I see.
Yeah, my bad.
Third age prophecy.
No, you're good. It's
that's Glorfindel, who we dealt with a little earlier tonight. He speaks the prophecy about the Witch King.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if that's the prophecy that you can't get beat by man, why would you ever fight a dog? Like, what? That'd be silly.
Yeah, exactly. All right. With all of that being said, I just want to put some lore on you guys tonight. Thanks for everyone's patience. Let us fight.
I got lore all over my body.
You're all covered in lore. So you guys tell me what you know and think about these two while I pull up the correct fight. S'il vous plaît.
I played the guy on the right on Warcraft, I believe. I think he was, I don't know, one of the orcs.
So this is Húrin versus Azog, right? Azog the Defiler. I think that this one might be pretty good.
Azog the Defiler?
Azog, I guess.
Azog, yeah.
Azog, however you pronounce it.
Azog.
He is, Azog. He's gonna, he's gonna give Húrin a hard time, I think. However, Húrin is also very fell in battle, and I believe this is the guy who killed like 64 trolls or something.
Indeed, 70.
Dude, he could make a ton of money on the internet.
All right,
killing all these trolls.
So here's the question: how many trolls worth is Azog? Probably not 70 trolls worth. So now, to be fair, Húrin was on roids that day because, like,
HGH.
But I'm not sure, man. There should be a close one. We can look at the stats in a second, right? Here we go.
In fact, pretty even.
Wow! Look!
Holy
wow! I've never seen stats that equal. Look at that!
Yeah,
and at 7 at that. This could be an 8-9.
Yeah.
It could be an 8-9. Look at that.
Now, as far as lore, I think the only thing I would say I would know about Azog was that he was not actually in the Hobbit movie and was, I believe, killed about 80 years before the timeline.
Yeah, he
of
wasn't
Hobbit.
supposed to be in the Hobbit movie.
In the War of the Dwarves and Orcs or whatever that is, right?
Stimmt. Yeah, so he was Bolg's. I don't know if they're bloodkin. I don't know how orcs breed. That's another whole rabbit hole of controversy. But he was the the commander of Gundabad and Moria before Bolg. So before Thorin was still alive. So it wasn't that much before the events of The Hobbit, but like 40 years before, when Thorin was a baby. That's where he earned the nickname Oakenshield, because his shield got shattered by one of Azog's dudes, and he had to use that tree branch. Yeah, so Azog was the guy who slew Thorin's father and his uncle in the Battle of Azanul Bizar outside the gates of Moria. And and then he was a nasty bastard. And then Dane the second, Ironfoot, who's already pulled an upset in this tournament, decapitates Azog, puts his head on a spike, and the dwarves win that war.
So the only kind of advantage I see here is Hurin. Is that how you pronounce it? Hurin. Can use spirit and valor to make. To shrug off wounds a little bit. I mean, it's hard to make a really kill shot on him. But other than that, man, those stats are close.
Indeed.
So I'm just thinking, lore-wise, Húrin, he participated in, I believe, was it the Battle of Unnumbered Tears?
Yes, yeah, defending.
I think I'm going to give him the edge, just experience-wise.
Is that where he slew the 64 or the 70 trolls or whatever the hell?
Yes, defending the retreat back to Gondolin.
And that's his most famous moment, right? And did he die?
Yes. No, he was captured and tortured, and that started the curse.
Of course,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, but he was no nonsense. A little bit of Helm Hammerhand to that guy. I don't think they're in the same lineage, but he was like, he did this all not with his own sword, which had long been lost. He just picked up an orc axe and started hewing trolls with that, and it was good enough.
But Azog was kind of considered one of these like really large orcs, right? Like he was
unusually
like, almost Uruk-hai-ish or even greater. Somehow.
Yeah.
Now that being said, just real quick, did not love the CGI'd Scarface version of Azog in The Hobbit.
I would agree.
This is not. I don't know. It just was nowhere near the quality of even some of the just random side orcs and the original 3 movies.
Side note: did anyone else really like the Rings of Power orcs?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Those were so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought those effects were really good, even though the show was a mess.
Yeah. No, they did a great job on the orcs. I actually got some.
If you're gonna make a pale orc, that looks really good.
Yeah. I got some custom made minis for that and painted them up. Actually, I'll send you some pictures. They're fun.
All right, let's have do-overs on this fight, shall we?
All right, let's go.
All right.
Game on.
Yes, Húrin against Azog. Let us fight. First swing of the Orcish scimitar for Azog does no damage. Doesn't even hit.
It's gonna be close.
Húrin's axe also misses. A miss. They're dancing. Back and forth we go. What? The first hit to Azog. Slight smite. A flesh
From Azog. Yeah.
Miss. Engages but can't hit. Húrin can engage. Húrin is having a difficult time engaging here.
More orcish sneakery.
Through 20 turns. There's the first hit. A wound. It's a
Big
sniper's
hit.
fight. Húrin. And we're tied through 20 rounds.
All right, going to the second quarter here.
Oh! Another hit. Barely any damage.
Forgot to catch Húrin's armor stat. Is it good?
No. He's basically naked.
He's a Scotsman.
Oh!
Decapitated.
Get
Slain.
Death.
And Húrin wins. That's how we got all those trolls, isn't it? Just one-shot decapitation.
Guess he was trying to find an axe on the ground half that battle.
So that's 30 rounds.
Yeah, it took him a minute, but boy, when he decided to get after it, he really got after it.
Mm-hmm.
So he danced a little bit and then swung that axe.
Can I be hasty here a little bit, if you don't mind? So who will... I'm just very curious. That was relatively dominating against Azog, which didn't have bad stats. So who is Turin going up against next?
Let us see.
Húrin, my apologies. Húrin, Turin, easy to confuse.
Now, let me just show you the website. Sorry, I was trying to show you the bracket screenshot. So
That's all right.
it's all right. Let's just go over here, and we're on the character page is the only drawback. So, bracket page, por favor. Okay, down at the bottom. And up to the top. So, Húrin would get, the winner of this next fight, Saruman against Shagrat.
All right. And is that going to be the last fight of the night, or is there any other ones that we...
That's it. That's the full first round done after that.
All right.
So, Húrin, I don't know. Yeah, Saruman. Good segue into Shagrat versus Saruman, actually, because it reminds me a lot of how Gandalf lost, right? Shagrat isn't quite... I mean, he's not an Uruk.
But here's the thing. If Shagrat wins, it's like, come on, Húrin just beat Azog, which is got to be stronger than Shagrat, right? Like, I could see Shagrat winning against Saruman in the similar fashion like you just talked about Gandalf going down. But then it's like, gosh dang it, let's get some more Istari through here, because I don't want to... I don't know. I just feel like Húrin would mop the floor with Shagrat in the next round. That would be even easier than what he just dealt with. So, go Saruman. I mean, it's a 2-15 here, and upsets are fun, but no, go Saruman. And quick lore, real quick, because I get them confused on Shagrat. He was in Cirith Ungol in The Return of the King.
Yeah, I misspoke a second ago. Him and Gorbag, Shagrat, I always get them crossed, right?
Yeah.
Shagrat was the Uruk. Okay, so he's the
Gorbag.
Gorbag.
Yeah.
He's the Uruk of Cirith Ungol, and Gorbag was from Lugburz. I think I'm 90% sure on that, but someone correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. Or Patty Man, maybe you know. Or Hanti, someone.
I think you have it right, but it's easy to confuse, you know?
Yeah. So he was an Uruk.
I'm not going to lie.
It's very similar to the Gandalf matchup. It is, because both are Uruks. One was made by Saruman. Ugluk was from Isengard. Shagrat was Sauron's version of the Uruk-hai, which weirdly he got via the Palantir. He kind of stole that tech from Saruman, weirdly enough. Right? The idea of crossing men with orcs.
Yeah.
Another sort of vague point in the lore, but an interesting one, right? Because they had that. He was already heaving Sauron, was corrupting Saruman's mind via that Palantir, because Saruman thought he was mighty enough to to control it. You know, a little bit of hubris. He says, you know, oh, this is a Numenorian treant. I'm one of the Astari. Surely I can do this. But Sauron already had the Master Stone, right? So he started instantly using that to his advantage, and Saruman couldn't hack it. So there would be some irony if one of Saruman's own creations, the Uruk-hai, came back to slay him in this battle. All right, so anyone got the stones to actually pick Shagrat in this one?
I want Shagrat in my pants.
No. We've got to have one wizard get through, hopefully. Also, back to logos, because I always have to touch on that. I like the Saruman one a lot. I like the purple touch. I don't know why. It's cool.
Yeah, I did.
Saruman of many colors, right? You could have done.
Yes.
You could have done a Pride Saruman, but whatever.
Yeah, could have Rainbow Saruman.
Yeah,
Saruman.
THA.
I did want to ask though, where did these logos come from?
We just they're custom, I guess. We made a bunch of them and then we had. I mean, I don't do computer art, but I worked with a company called Armada, Friends of Friends, in New York City up there. And shout out to Armada for the Adobe work. I did sketches of all these for them, and they really took it from, you know, my own 20-yard line all the way across the end zone and made them look cool.
Yeah, that's cool because like I definitely haven't seen these artworks. You know,
yeah, they're all original. So good question, man. Appreciate that.
I'm guessing
yeah.
Saruman. I'm guessing Saruman's armor is nothing as well, like kind of like Gandalf, right?
Correct. Yes. So hold on. Let's get these stats up.
Not much armor.
Did Saruman ever even? I guess in the I guess as Sharky he would have wielded a blade, right?
Yeah, that's true. But not reliably in this one. So that's his disadvantage to Gandalf. However, his advantage is he got a little more on the power and magic stats than Gandalf would have.
Yeah. If Shagrat can get a hold of him, you know, he might have a chance.
Wrestled in the tower that time, right?
Right. Yeah. At least in the movie, in the book, they didn't, I guess, actually fight. But it begs the question: well, if they didn't actually fight, how did Gandalf get imprisoned in the tower by force? Right? They must have fought. So I didn't mind that scene in the movie. That was all right. But anything jump out to you guys? Let's see. So was it like Gandalf in the sense? Blue line is Shagrat, green line is Saruman. The ferocity is an advantage. The armor, again, is an advantage. Armor.
I really feel like elusiveness is strong, and any advantage in elusiveness is going to be big.
I can't blame you for feeling like that after what we've seen from the hobbits and a few of the elves. Yeah, so
that magic is through the roof.
But that's mainly on the melee side. They're gonna do mainly ranged.
I think he plays very much like a glass cannon. So we'll see.
Now, I think that the biggest thing too is like on this one, Shagrat prefers to use range combat, whereas when it was Gandalf versus Ugluk was trying to do nothing but melee, right? So that's going to be, I think, the biggest difference.
Ooh, another good point,
dude.
Was he? Yeah. What's up?
I love the analogy, glass cannon.
Yeah, that was well put.
Right. So what I'm saying is Saruman, he's obviously got lots of magic. If he can get a good hit in or two, it's going to be the end really quickly.
Oh, totally.
at the same time, if Shagrat is able, like you said, to get a hold of him, it could go the other way, but it's going to take probably multiple hits.
I like it. Are we ready for the last fight of the evening, gentlemen?
That armor.
Let's go.
Good.
Do it. You can do it.
Sound the horn. All right, the last fight of the first round in the ultimate Tolkien tournament. Saruman against Shagrat. Let us fight. Ooh, right off the bat, Saruman has to use his less favorable weapon, the white staff. He cannot engage. Shagrat comes back. Hits but doesn't do any damage. Failure to engage, failure to hit and do damage. The first wound is a slight smite by Saruman using the Istari Cantation.
Yeah, this one's going to go for Saruman.
Shagrat's using those poison darts and they are not working yet. Oh, another blow for Saruman.
Run all the way.
Slay!
Wow, immediately!
Sure.
He says, night-night.
Night-night. Saruman knew that we were 7 minutes past schedule. He likes to keep his trains running on time.
A wizard
Bless
is never late.
Is he
early?
Exactly. Well, there you have it. Saruman was not messing around. That's just such a weird contrast to the Gandalf fight, though, right? How do you make sense of that?
Well, technically, he was the more powerful wizard.
He was.
Yeah.
The arrives precisely when he means to. It's actually really kind of creepy when you think that it's round 7.
Oh, of course.
Like, no, I'm just saying because it's 7 minutes past the schedule, round 7. Like it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that. Not much to say about that one.
Húrin Saruman will be a classic, I think. It should. Now, obviously, Húrin has more ability to get in there and do a little more than Shagrat, but I don't know. It seemed to me like Saruman did a good job with the range there. So, yeah, I don't know. That should be a good one. I know we mentioned, I don't know. I'll leave things to you here. Madness Maestro, but I know we mentioned maybe doing an additional, kind of like how we did the first bracket breakdown show. We might do another one of those for the round of 32. And of course, anybody will be able to check the website to take a look at the bracket. So, if we're out of time, we're out of time. But I'm interested.
No, definitely, yes. I think we can safely promise that for the next round. And by the way, the next round that starts Monday of next week. So we're gonna let this breathe a little bit.
Sure.
We'll let everyone comment on and catch up a little bit. I think because
a lot there.
I don't think I did the best job of pre-hyping this whole thing, so people are just now kind of catching on.
Yeah.
And so we'll let people catch up. We'll be talking to everyone in the comments across all our platforms. Exactly. Hit up our website there. All of the fights are there or linked there, right? And it at the bottom of every page, you can get to all our socials. You can get to our link tree also. We're hard to miss. We're out there.
And you can find my OnlyFans at the bottom of the link page as well.
Ooh, that's important, Josh. Yeah, everyone, be good tippers on Josh's OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's a play on all this. It's foot pictures. It's JRR Toe King.
Yeah.
See, I considering it was you, I thought you were going to call it Only Helms or something.
That's good.
Where you're only wearing a helmet, nothing else. You just have
Well,
a Viking helmet on, and you're
Helm
looking.
hammer hand.
Yeah, helm hammer.
I like only
Helm
helms.
hammer.
That's great.
Only help. It's so deep.
Oh, dude.
Helm's deep.
The gap of Rohan.
Oh,
Open the
that,
gap.
you definitely pay extra for that one.
Oh, there's a Two Towers joke in there as well, but
I was gonna say something about the beacons, but never mind.
The Lord of the something rings.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
Hey, whatever
man.
works, man. Whatever works.
Exactly.
You gotta make a buck somehow. You know.
Yeah. Put on your wizard hat.
Cosplay with Josh.
No, I'm totally joking about all this stuff. I've been paid to put clothes on. I've never been paid to take clothes off. Sadly.
Well.
Never an option.
It's never too late.
Oh, man.
Dude, props to y'all
Yeah.
for making this thing. The engine's awesome.
It's fantastic, and thanks
Yeah.
for inviting us on.
Yeah,
course,
of course. Yeah, good fun.
Hope you come back. Yeah, and keep watching, keep dropping comments and all of that stuff. And
The next round, obviously, it's just going to keep
Yes.
getting crazier.
yes.
Next round should have some longer fights. Obviously, we'll have less fights because 32
That's right.
of them just got slain.
4 a night. Yeah, it gets cut in half. 4 a night instead of 8 a night.
Yeah. So
So we'll be knocking shows out in about an hour instead of 2.
We'll have a
No
little
worries.
bit more time to talk about other things like the lore and whatever.
Yeah, hopefully so, and hopefully people are digging that. I know. Shout out to Remy tonight. It sounds like he was digging the lore.
Yeah. From what it sounded like, I think from a comment or something, he said he would drives a lot, so he was listening and he appreciates it. So
Nice. I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Remy. That's cool of you, man.
yeah, good stuff.
All right, fellas. Well, that is it for tonight. Anything else before we officially conclude the first round of the Ultimate Tolkien Tournament?
Mary is going to win it all.
Mary's got it in the bag.
let's see. Who do I want to win?
Maybe Elon,
Let's
like
see,
dark horse.
Yeah, Glorfindel out on all platforms, I guess. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, and Calagon, he swims with a shirt on. We'll figure out some other slander for our favorite characters, since that's apparently
He wears he wears a mask in a car by himself.
Still in 2024.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, to each their own, I guess. We can still make fun of people, though.
Oh yeah, it's not for the faint of heart here in the Chamber of Death.
That's the
Yeah.
American way.
Thranduil, that 12 seed, he's going to be sneaky, man. He's going to give your Glorfindel a run for his money, Santi.
Ooh. Yeah, those archers, man, you just never know. And
Elf on elf violence again.
the kinslaying, Beleg too.
I think Thorondor versus Ungoliant is going to be the matchup. Though, I'm low-key really excited about that.
That's a cool one, man. Very unusual.
Yeah, it really is.
Hopefully that's part of the charm with this whole thing is it forces you to think about encounters and situations that you'd never, even if hardcore fans would never think about. Like, oh damn, that'd be interesting. Hopefully.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again. And thanks for everyone for watching. And until the next battle, remember, as Professor Tolkien tells us, you can only come to the morning through the shadows. And where there is life, there is always hope. you're never out of the fight.